Hello, good evening. How are all of you? I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are having a great St. Patrick's Day. Um, so, we're going to jump right into it tonight. So, there is that. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the rising incidence of sexual abuse in the United Kingdom, Canada, and in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, we will be covering topics such as new trends that are causing the rises in the reports, uh, survivor narratives as well, and some statistics about the numbers and all that. So, without any further ado, this um, sexual abuse remains a pervasive issue in the United Kingdom, affecting individuals across all demographics. This report provides an in-depth analysis of current statistics, explores potential reasons for observed increases in cases, and highlights survivor stories to offer a comprehensive understanding of the situation. Current statistics and trends in the United Kingdom. 1. Prevalence of sexual violence in the United Kingdom. The Crime Survey for England and Wales, the CSEW, estimated that 7.5% of adults aged 18 to 74 years experienced sexual abuse before the age of 16, equating to approximately 3.1 million people. In the year ending March 2022, there were 70,600 recorded sexual offenses against children under 16 in England and in Wales, reflecting a significant increase from previous years. Sexual violence among marginalized groups. Specific data on marginalized groups such as ethnic minorities and individuals with disabilities is limited. However, existing research indicates that these populations may face higher risks of sexual violence. What's up, Viprin? What's up, Dreamverse? Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate the support on these live streams, especially these ones. 1. Child sexual abuse in the United Kingdom. Prevalence. Approximately 1 in 20 children in the UK have experienced contact sexual abuse. In the year ending March 2022, there were 107,000 reported child sexual abuse and exploitation crimes, marking a 17% increase since the pandemic. Online exploitation. Sweet. I'm glad you had a great day today at work. There, Drew. Oh, yeah. Online exploitation. The Internet Watch Foundation, the IWF, reported that a 380% increase in AI generated child sexual abuse content from 2023 to 2024. Trends over time. Is sexual abuse increasing? Reports of sexual assault and rapes where both the victim and perpetrator were children have increased by 40% in recent years. The rise in online exploitation, particularly AI-generated abuse imagery, has contributed to the increasing reports of sexual abuse. Some factors contributing to the rising reports of sexual abuse: increased awareness and reporting, cultural shifts, movements similar to #MeToo in the UK have empowered survivors to come forward, leading to a surge in reported cases. Mandatory reporting laws. Enhanced mandatory reporting laws have led to higher reporting rates, although challenges in the justice system persist. Technology advancement and the digital age. Rise of online exploitation. The internet has facilitated new forms of abuse, including grooming and the distribution of indecent images. The IWF reported removing 291,273 web pages containing child sexual abuse material in the past year. Underreporting and dismissal of sexual assault cases. Barriers to reporting. Survivors often do not report due to the fear of retaliation, mistrust in law enforcement, and social stigma. Justice systems Justice system challenges. Despite increased reporting, the prosecution and conviction rates for sexual offenses remain low. One, rape culture. Sorry, rape culture and victim blaming. Media and cultural influences. Victim blaming narratives and latent sentences for perpetrators discourage survivors from seeking justice. Survivor narratives, real stories of sexual abuse, the impact of incel culture. The Netflix series Adolescence highlights the influence of incel culture and figures like Andrew Tate on the radicalization of young men, leading to increased violence. Child on child sexual abuse. Reports indicate that over half of child sexual offenders aged 10 to 17 targeted other children, with the most common age being 14. Yes, it is. What's up, Nature Sounds? Online exploitation and AI generated content. The rise in AI generated child sexual abuse imagery has led to increased online exploitation, necessitating robust legislation and protective measures. The path forward: preventing sexual abuse, strengthening laws and sentencing. The UK government plans to invest in measures to combat online exploitation and hold tech companies accountable for failing, failing to remove illegal content. Digital safety and online protection. The IWF's report remove remove service allows children to confidently report abuse, leading to the removal of criminal content. Education and awareness campaigns. Comprehensive sex education and awareness campaigns aim to destigmatize reporting and support survivors. In conclusion, sexual abuse remains a significant issue in the United Kingdom, with rising reports due to increased awareness, digital exploitation, and the empowerment of survivors. Addressing this issue requires legal reform, digital protections, education, and cultural shifts to protect survivors and prevent future abuse. Sexual abuse remains a critical issue in Canada, affecting individuals across various demographics. This report provides an in-depth analysis of current statistics, explores potential reasons for the observed trends, and highlights survivor stories to offer a comprehensive understanding of the issue. Current statistics and trends in Canada. Prevalence of sexual violence in Canada. According to the 2014 General Social Survey, the rate of self-reported sexual assault has remained relatively stable over the past 15 years, from 21 incidents per 1,000 population in 1999 to 22 incidents per 1,000 population in 2014. Women are disproportionately affected, with a rate of 37 incidents per 1,000 women compared to 5 incidents per 1,000 men. Gender disparities. Women account for 92% of police reported sexual assaults. Young women aged 15 to 24 experience the highest rate of sexual assault, with 47% of all sexual assault incidents committed against this demographic. Okay, Nature Sounds. What's up, Cash? What's up, Duchess? Everybody show Duchess some love. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Cash, for putting my name out there and guiding people to this channel. I really appreciate it. Yes, it does. And there are no feckin' resources at all in all aspects of the vulnerable. Makes me so feckin' sad and mad. I bet it does, Cash. Do not blame me. Anisha, nice to meet you. Thank you for welcoming me. Absolutely. Hell yeah. Trends over time. Is sexual abuse increasing? Self reported incidents. The rate of self reported sexual assault has remained relatively stable over the past 15 years, from 21 incidents per 1,000 population in 1999 to 22 incidents per 1,000 population in 2014. Child sexual abuse. Almost 1 in 10, or 7.8%, Canadians reported experiencing at least one type of sexual abuse before the age of 15. Women, 12% were 3 times more likely than men, 3.2%, to have been sexually abused by an adult during childhood. Factors contributing to the rising reports of sexual abuse: increased awareness and reporting, cultural shifts. Movements like Me Too have empowered survivors to share their experiences, leading to increased reporting of sexual violence. Initiatives by organizations such as the Canadian Women's Foundation have raised awareness about sexual violence, encouraging more survivors to come forward. Underreporting and dismissal of sexual assault cases. Barriers to reporting. Survivors often do not report due to the fear of not being believed, mistrust in the justice system, and social stigma. Justice system challenges. Misunderstandings about victims' reactions to sexual assault persist in the justice system, contributed to ongoing deficiencies in criminal justice. System processing of sexual assault cases. I share missing and murder cases on my channel, so thank you for speaking about awareness. See something, say something. Absolutely. Cash, can you drop Duchess's channel link in the chat, please, so people can go and sub up to her as well. Rape culture and victim blaming. Persistent victim blaming narratives and latent sentences for perpetrators discourage survivors from seeking justice. Survivor narratives. Indigenous communities. Historical abuse. The documentary Sugarcane highlights the systemic abuse of Indigenous children in Canadian residential schools, where children were subject to physical and sexual abuse. The case of Robert Miller. Canadian billionaire Robert Miller has been accused of sexually abusing more than 60 underage girls in a prostitution ring spanning from 1994 to 2016. The path forward: preventing sexual abuse, strengthening laws and sentencing. Advocacy for stricter laws and harsher sentencing aims to deter potential offenders and ensure justice for survivors. Education and awareness campaigns. Comprehensive sex education and public awareness campaigns aim to destigmatize reporting and support survivors. Support services for survivors. Some resources. Organizations like the Canadian Women's Foundation offer support and resources for survivors. In conclusion, sexual abuse remains a significant issue in Canada. Addressing these issues requires legal reform, education, cultural shifts to protect survivors and prevent future abuse. Catch this up. I meant the topics here are heavy, not you, Duchess. Cash trolls me, but secretly he likes me. That's funny. That's funny. Sexual abuse is a pervasive issue that affects millions of individuals in the United States. Despite legal reforms and awareness campaigns, the numbers of reported sexual abuse cases continue to rise, or at least remain alarmingly high. This report aims to analyze the statistical trends of sexual abuse, explore the reasons for their increase, and highlight survivor stories to emphasize the urgency of addressing this epidemic. Prevalence of sexual violence in the United States. Sexual violence is a broad term that includes rape, sexual assault, molestation, child abuse, and sexual harassment. Below are key statistics that demonstrate the severity of the problem. Every 68 seconds in America, e- e- every 68 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted. Every 9 minutes, a child is a victim of sexual abuse. Out of every 1,000 sexual assaults, only 25 perpetrators are incarcerated. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 38 men in the U.S. have experienced an attempted or completed rape in their lifetime. Over 81% of women and 43% of men experience some form of sexual harassment or assault in their lifetime. Sexual violence among marginalized groups. Indigenous women are 2.5 times more likely to experience sexual violence than non Indigenous women. Members of the LGBTQ community, particularly transgender individuals, experience sexual violence at higher rates than their cisgender, well, however the hell you say it, counterparts. Sexual assault abuse in the United States. Child sexual abuse in the United States. Children are among the most vulnerable groups to sexual violence. The statistics surrounding child abuse cases are staggering, mostly because they don't usually keep records of anybody between the ages of 12 and newborn. 1 in 9 girls and 1 in 53 boys under the age of 18 are sexually abused by an adult. 93% of child sexual abuse perpetrators are known to the victim. Over 90% of sexual abuse over 90% of sexual abuse against children is never reported. So, did we just hear what they said there? That's mind blowing to me. Over 90% of sexual abuse against children is never reported. So, all these numbers we're getting in the United States come from 10% of all cases of child abuse, sexual abuse. Let that blow your mind for a minute. Hmm. Over 90% of sexual abuse against children is never reported. I know, right? Mr. Bossy Pants right here, Cash. It should make you angry. It should make all of us angry. That's right, Duchess. I hope you stick around for a little bit. I really do. Impact of online exploitation. Reports of child exploitation online have increased tenfold over the past decade due to social media and the dark web. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reported over 29.3 million cases of online child sexual abuse material in 2021 alone. Trends over time. Is sexual abuse increasing? Between 1990 and 2007, substantiated child sexual abuse cases declined by 53% due to awareness campaigns and legal reform. However, in the past decade, reports of sexual violence have increased, particularly in digital spaces. Increased hashtag MeToo reporting has led to a rise in reported cases, but whether actual incidents have increased remains debated. Factors contributing to the rising reports of sexual abuse, increased awareness and reporting. Hashtag MeToo movement, the cultural shifts. The hashtag MeToo movement, which gained traction in 2017, empowered survivors to come forward, leading to a surge in reported cases. As a result, institutions such as Hollywood, corporate America, and universities saw significant spikes in allegations. Mandatory reporting laws. Many states have expanded mandatory reporting laws requiring teachers, doctors, and social workers to report any suspected abuse. Increased visibility has led to higher reporting rates, but the justice system still fails to prosecute many cases effectively. Technological advancements and the digital age. Rise of online exploitation. The internet has facilitated new forms of abuse, such as grooming. Predators use social media and gaming platforms to lure children into exploitation. Live streaming. Child abuse live streaming has become a growing black market industry. Revenge porn and sextortion. Victims, especially teenagers, face blackmail with their explicit images. FBI reports show that cases of online child exploitation increased over 400% during the COVID-19 pandemic. Underreporting and dismissal of sexual assault cases. Why don't survivors report? Many survivors do not report due to 1. Fear of retaliation from the perpetrator, 2. Mistrust in law enforcement. Less than 5% of sexual assaults report mistrust in law enforcement. Less than 5% of sexual assault reports lead to an arrest. 3. Shame and stigma associated with victimization. Studies show that up to 80% of sexual assaults on college campuses go unreported due to fear of social consequences. Rape culture and victim blaming. Media and culture influences. Many survivors hesitate to report due to victim blaming narratives that are prevalent in society. Questions such as what were you wearing, or did you fight back, discourage victims from seeking justice. High profile cases. The Brock Turner case highlights how perpetrators often receive minimal punishments. This culture protects perpetrators and discourages survivors from coming forward, allowing abuse to persist. 100%. The stats are horrific. You know I have your back, Cash. We stand together against these heinous crimes. That's right. Staggering and unacceptable. Absolutely. Where's Hey Lady Hey, by the way? I don't know. I haven't seen it for a while. It's kind of a long story. I have covered so many cases where young teens and women have gone missing only to be found murdered or sexually assaulted or sexually trafficked. This is why sharing these cases are vital. Yep, absolutely. Duchess, there was a lass permanently excluded from school, even though we knew her mom pimps her out and authorities aware but have no proof. There are hundreds of stories I can tell. Yep. Systemic failures. These are children are vulnerable for fuck's sake. Yes. For fuck's sake, I cry and get angry. Me too, Cash. I just sit in shock. Me too, Cash. Yep, I feel the same way. They are broken. Survivor narratives. Real stories of sexual abuse. The case of Cassie Ventura and the Diddy scandal. Cassie Ventura, a singer and model, accused rapper Sean Diddy Combs of rape, sex trafficking, and physical abuse. Her lawsuit brought attention to the entertainment industry's deep-rooted sexual exploitation and power abuse. The story of Jane Doe, online exploitation. A 14-year-old girl, Jane Doe, was groomed through Snapchat by a predator who blackmailed her into sending explicit photos. She later became an advocate for online safety laws and testified before Congress about the dangers of cyber exploitation. Sexual abuse in the U.S. prison system. I'm not going to cover that. The path forward, preventing sexual abuse. Strengthening laws and sentencing. Many states are pushing for harsher sentences to repeat offenders. Statute of limitation laws are being reconsidered to allow survivors more time to come forward. Digital safety and online protection. The U.S. is working to hold tech companies accountable for failing to report exploitive content. Increased digital latency programs are helping parents and children recognize online dangers. Education and awareness campaigns. Comprehensive sex education in schools is key to teaching children about bodily anatomy and recognizing abuse. Awareness campaigns such as RAIN initiatives aim to destigmatize reporting and support survivors. Gaming, gaming wise, Discord wise, always keep kids with titles that have Playground or Panda. Duchess, education is the first step. Burying heads in sand doesn't help anything. That's right, Cash. Keep kids away from. Yep, absolutely. Oh, Viper. I was just gonna say clarify that, right? But knew what you meant. Well, Cash, I don't understand it. This stuff worries me because LE law enforcement doesn't prosecute these cases, in my opinion, in the way they should be. The WWW has just given predators another way to find victims. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Gaming Discord wise always keeps kids away from games with titles from Playgrounds and Pandas. Thank you, DK, for covering this topic. You're a badass for doing this. Thank you, Nature Sounds. So, in conclusion, sexual abuse remains a significant issue in the United States, with rising reports due to increased awareness, digital exploitation, and the empowerment of survivors through movements like #MeToo. However, systemic failure in the legal system, cultural victim blaming, and underreporting still hinder true progress. The path forward requires legal reform, digital protections, education, and cultural shifts to protect survivors and prevent future abuse. By amplifying survivor voices and pushing for systemic changes, society can move closer to eradicating sexual violence. So there's my report on this for this week. So what do y'all think? What should we do? Hmm. Hmm. I'll open up the panel for a few. Duchess double-edged sword. Internet allows webs of predators to be traced when otherwise in past they were anonymous. I am a fucking ninja. I am a fucking ninja. That's right. That's right. I agree with that, Cash. Educate and provide resources. I have many links the mods dropped in chat for resources to report sexual assault, domestic violence, get help with addiction and substance abuse. Duchess, you want to come up and have a chat with me for a little bit? Roblox is dangerous for kids. You're right, Vibrant. It is too. Vibrant, good advice, and make sure they know the signs. They may not be victim, but may spot it. That's right. What's up, Vibrant?
What's up? I wanted to clarify, dude. I'm having trouble typing. My MS fingers are not letting me type on the phone well. But what I was trying to say was, like, a lot of the times in games where you can go online with kids, if there's titles like Playgrounds or Panda in the titles of these different parts of a game that kids can go into and group up, that's usually a bad sign. Those are red flags.
Hmm.
But Roblox is a good example. A lot of parents don't know how to educate their kids and stuff when it comes to Roblox.
Yes.
They don't know how to. What's up, Nate? Nature Sounds. and they don't know how to do the security with it. There's a lot of security you could do on Roblox, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Online has definitely created a lot more victims and shit, man. A lot more opportunities for predators to find people to violate. You know.
yeah, it gets pretty bad, especially now. It's all games, and hell, even video games like what's up, All Things Serious?
So
Like
ATS,
Call of Duty, for example, is now getting red flags for child
really.
predators. Yeah,
Basically,
Fortnite.
if it's online, basically, if it's online, you should look at it as a haven for predators.
Oh yeah, and I'm really particular with things with my son
How
when it
old's your
comes to
kid, if you
that.
don't mind me asking?
He's 11.
11. And like, did you have the talk with him about proper touching and shit like that growing up?
I have talks with them about that, yeah, because I question like teachers and things like that. Like if I'm not around, so I do tell him, don't be afraid to tell me things.
Right.
You're not
How
gonna
long
get
have
in
you been?
trouble for things.
How long have you been talking to him about it?
I talked to him. Shit, I've been talking to him about it since he was like 3.
Very good.
Yeah, I
My
would dumb it down for a forum and
my rule of thumb is now my rule of thumb is once you as a parent no longer have to wipe your baby's butt and clean their butt with a diaper is probably when you should start talking to your kids about proper and improper touches and shit like
mm-hmm.
this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's dangerous, and that's the world now. It's a
Submarine Joe.
digital. It's a digital world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Viprin, not Vipren, but Vipren.
Yeah, it's Viprin.
But it's a digital world nowadays, and it's dangerous. And the thing is a lot of this is to be honest, a lot of this shit's coming out now.
Yeah.
When it's been around for ages, and now it's more popular, and it's a thing, right, for people
Yeah.
that are in the black market, and things are now known, so it's become more of a it's something that's been going on for a long time, and now their eyes have been uncovered, when it comes to the police and the government and all that crap.
Yep. Yep. What's up, Ottawa?
Go play for the Mavericks. What?
I'm doing
What,
pretty
play
good.
with the Mavericks?
I'm doing all right, man. Continue your conversation.
We will. We will. I'm just waiting on a new guest to hopefully come up. She's going to see if she can pull out her laptop and come up. And she,
But the security. Oh, Top Gun Joe. Okay. But security wise, there's a lot of security you can do with games, but it takes like a lot, especially a lot of people that are computer illiterate. They don't know how to keep the security with games and all that different stuff to keep their eye on their children when they're playing these games. Roblox is one of the worst ones. There was actually a case that came through Oklahoma where a child, I think she was like 13, got taken from her house, and they drove across 4 states.
Yeah.
Oklahoma was one of the states, and locked her up in a basement.
Yeah.
But
it happens all the time. Like one child every 30 seconds is like approached by somebody online for sexual exploitation reasons.
yeah, and we have a highway through here that goes through Oklahoma down to Texas, down to the Mexico, right, and back up Missouri and all that shit. There's white vans that come through, and they have problems at Walmart on the highway all the time, where they go and try and take kids. They go in Walmart and they take kids, stuff them in a van. It happens all the time. We had a scare in my town like a couple weeks ago where somebody was at Walmart trying to put little children in a van and drive off and probably go to Mexico. I don't know, but it happens a lot. And when I worked at a gas station, one of the things we had to look at is white vans, unmarked vans. If it seemed like it was a brand new van, unmarked. There's foreigners there that have non-foreigner children and stuff. You have to look for hand signals and things like that when you're in the gas station because you never know.
Yeah. Hang on one second. And you don't. That's the whole thing. You never know. They don't come. There's no certain demographic. There's no certain look you can pick up on. You walk past somebody who's doing it every single day.
Yeah.
It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't profile. It doesn't have an identity. It's anybody could do it.
Yep.
But yeah, fucking it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, man. And then that statistic I read earlier that 93% of sexual abuse cases in children never get reported. That's so crazy.
That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, huge.
So I was gonna ask really quick, what happened with the movie? Did you fall asleep or did you watch it?
I did. I fucking did. I did. I fell asleep.
I think it was everyone did. I think Amy went to eat dinner and came back and was like, "Oh, I missed it." But I think almost everyone fell asleep. There was like 4 people left in there when I left.
Yeah, I did. I woke up and there was I think there was one other person. Who was it? Shit, I don't remember who it was. There was only one other person in there. I'm pretty sure
it was the crow guy, Remy.
Remy. If it was Remy.
Yeah.
If it was Remy. What's up, Duchess? Thank you for coming up here and
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Hello.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Vibrant. Hi, James. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah. So you obviously know a bit about this topic and this subject. So
yes, I've had a channel for about 4 years on YouTube, and I actually am an artist. I formerly worked in the medical field, but I have my own art business. I have an art studio in my home. I live in South Carolina, and I actually use that ability to make free missing flyers for families who need them. And I do it at no charge. If somebody reaches out to me and says, "Hey, there's a missing person. We filed a police report. Here's all their information and their photo. Can you please make me up a missing flyer?" Then I'm happy to do that. So that's kind of the way that I kind of started in my own community. I was a missing person 22 years ago in the waterway where I live. And if it hadn't have been for someone that spotted me and called 911, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys today.
wow.
So that is why I try to pay it forward in this community. I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and we have a lot of trafficking in this area. I don't know if you guys heard about the Brittany Drexel case.
I haven't.
She skipped town in New York and came to Myrtle Beach on spring break with her friends, and she was abducted by a pedophile and his girlfriend, and she was tortured to death and murdered. And her family is just now trying to get justice. That case went cold for such a long time, but they finally caught him, and they've also arrested his girlfriend for helping him do it. So, it's when you have these intersections of interstates, 95 runs north and south, runs right by where I live, plus we have I-40 that goes from North Carolina to California.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of these cases. The first case that I ever did on YouTube, I helped a lady whose daughter was coming from Bullhead City, Arizona to Myrtle Beach to be with her boyfriend. And she got on a Greyhound bus and she was never heard from again. And I hung up flyers. I made flyers. I went out boots on the ground, just doing whatever I could to share awareness. Hey, have you seen something? Just asking people questions, going to the police department. Law enforcement just wanted to look the other way. And she finally got some closure. 5 days ago, we found out there was a Jane Doe where remains were found in the middle of nowhere in some place that she wasn't supposed to be. And we saw her on a trail cam footage. That footage was out for 2 years, and law enforcement didn't say anything to the mother. And we looked at it. We knew it was her when she was still alive, but they actually cleared that land, and some hunters found the remains right where the trail cam was, and we waited 18 months for her to be able to get a DNA match, and that match came just last week. They called me the morning I was having surgery on my broken hand, and the mother told me the news that it was a match to her daughter. And you know, she was unfortunately, you know, homeless, and her and her boyfriend were addicts, and she was trying to get home to Pennsylvania to her mom so she could go to rehab, so she could be there for her 5 kids, and she never made it. And it's really hard for families that don't get closure, these cases that
imagine.
don't get attention, you know?
Is that
Yeah, I
still a cold
imagine.
case right now?
No, it was just solved. They were able to match that Jane Doe in Anson County, North Carolina, to Amber Ray Johnston. That is a playlist on my YouTube channel.
So they found the killers? Or the
No,
killer?
no,
No,
her
just the body.
boyfriend
Just
actually
the remains.
overdosed on some drugs that he bought on the dark web last September. And we've been trying to get the FBI and Social Security disability on this case for 3 years, because when Amber went missing, it was very odd because the boyfriend, she had told her mother that he had been physically abusive in the past, and that he had also stolen her benefit cards and sold them to people for drugs. And when Amber's mother finally was able to get in touch with Social Security, we found out that somebody had been taking the money out of her bank account since she had been missing, and there was over $9,000 missing
Wow.
after she went missing. And the Cash App and PayPal that it went to was actually in the boyfriend's name. However, he overdosed and died in September of 2024. And the mother does believe that he knows something about that case.
Wow.
So, you know, we stayed on them for the longest time. Like, hey, you need to call him in. You need to ask him these questions. Like, you know, the least you could do is get him on the crime for stealing her Social Security disability.
Yeah.
Right.
But cops down here in South Carolina, they don't care about that.
I don't really think the cops anywhere care about it too much.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
it's almost everywhere. It's it becomes a headache. I had a friend that went missing. They were looking for him, and they found him finally in a river, and they claimed it was a suicide, and that's it. It was done. But everyone, and even the family, believes that it wasn't a suicide because of
Right.
how it happened. The story of them going to a place, asking for help. He needs a wrecker and stuff because his truck broke down. They called. He went to his truck to wait. Then they found his shoes stacked up right against the on the road, stacked up nice and neat. All his stuff was there. Nothing was with he didn't have anything with him. Supposedly drowned in a river, but they think there was foul play with it because he was a really bad alcoholic. He knew some bad people, and there's just a lot of stuff with it. It was a lot of red flags, but the OSBI and all that stuff, they're horrible with doing it. There's like, oh yeah, it's a suicide, and bam,
Well,
it's gone. Close case.
Something that I've noticed, you know, I cover a lot of cases in the Carolinas because that's where I'm from, North and South Carolina.
Mhm.
So that's really a lot of the area that I focus in, because if I can get out there and be boots on the ground, hang up flyers for kids and adults that are missing in my area, I try to make sure that I cover my area. But, you know, I cover cases all over the United States and beyond, in Canada. A lot of missing, murdered Indigenous women and girls and
Yeah.
men. We have a lot of missing Indigenous.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
indeed.
persons of color, I don't feel like get the attention that they need and deserve. Hey, Dragon. That's my buddy right there. Um, And I also feel like these young girls that go missing, if they have a history with law enforcement or any of these young teenagers or people that have problems that may be in addiction or that may be homeless, I feel like law enforcement doesn't take their cases as serious. It's like their life isn't as important because maybe they're struggling with drug addiction. But
Yeah.
every life matters.
Yep. And
Somebody
that's
loves that person and cares about them.
why a lot of them go unsolved for a long time, or it turns into a case like the Beach killer,
Right.
where it's like so many victims and no one really cared until they had to care. And it's like, oh shit, well, you should have paid attention a long time ago. Yeah, it's
You
like
see,
that.
that's common. That's so common these days. Like
Yeah.
people are like, why do I care? I don't even have kids, or like shit like that. It irritates. It irritates me. It makes me so mad. Like even if you don't have kids, like you should still care about other people's children.
Yeah, it's like that. So we have that case that was popular for YouTube sleuths and stuff here in Oklahoma, the House of Horrors in Henrietta, and it. Yes, the justice system is horrible with letting them out for good behavior after
Mm-hmm.
doing the child trap or child sex stuff that he was doing, and the rape. But now, just now, because there was a lot of hell given, just now they're actually taking the Knight's Law and they took it to the Congress or to the state Congress here in Oklahoma. So they're trying to push it now, and the law, they're trying to push it like crazy. But the law actually is going to mandate castration for sex offenders.
But see,
a lot of stuff.
I'm totally against it.
Really?
I'm totally against chemical castration for sex abusers. You know
Yeah.
why?
No,
You know
I
why?
don't.
Well, because one, you can only chemically castrate a male, even though males are predominantly the ones that commit these crimes. There's still plenty of women out there that do this. Okay, so that only takes care of a percentage of predators. And studies have shown that when they started chemically castrating men back in the 90s, in the mid to late in the mid to late 90s, they were finding out that it's made these people that were chemically castrated. It didn't deter them from doing what they did. It made them become more violent, more sadistic, and more brutal when it came to their victims.
It's crazy that it comes into like, a lot of people don't look at how serial killers. I see more little boys murdered with serial killers, sex crimes than I do women or little girls.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
big killers that I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I read a lot about it, but there's a lot of little boys that are killed more than little girls most of the time.
Yeah. And girls are more likely the ones to be kidnapped and murdered in that aspect. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Everybody, throw some love. Can we put some? Let's put some black and blue hearts in the chat for Mission Possible. It's going through some shit right now. Lost a friend of his due to cancer. So let's all show Mission Possible some love. Throw some black and blue hearts up in there for him. I would appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
You're right, Cash. Chemical castration is not effective. It literally makes them more violent.
Yo, I can't put any hearts in chat, but I'll give you one of these, brother.
Well, there you go, Mission. There's your heart, bro. Oh, yeah. Black and blue. Hell yeah. That's just throwing up some hearts. That's what we're talking about. So, with that being said, are you down to do an interview? I'd love to interview you.
Who, me?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. I mean, if we can schedule it at another time, I'm getting ready to head off to bed here soon. I broke my hand after getting into a fight.
With a wall?
No,
Cat said it was a wall.
No, it wasn't a wall. It was a person.
Nice.
Was it
The
a
thing
Karen?
with me is I'm a southern lady. I'm very classy, but if you put your hands on me, I will punch back.
So
Oh,
it
yeah.
was a Karen. It was a
And
Karen.
that's what had happened. And I hit her so hard it broke my pinky finger, so I had to get a rod put in my hand.
Dude, I could show you mine, like in my pinky, like in the pinky itself or below in the hand bone.
Both.
Yeah.
I have 2 screws and a pin that they rammed up through. Oh, great. Is that what mine's gonna look like? Oh my gosh, I'm
So
not
right
looking.
here, so this pinky, when I had the surgery done, this pinky was like 68 degrees, like
Yes, mine was twisted inward.
right. Mine was twisted outward.
Oh gosh, mine was inward. Oh Lord.
So when he went in and he took and he put a plate in. He cut it
Yeah.
open, and right here, and he connected this plate that's about this long, got
Uh-huh.
like 8 holes in it in there, and I smacked it on like 8 months after I was out of the cast and stuff. I was playing with my daughter, and I smacked my fucking hand on the fridge, and
Oh
and
my
it broke it
god.
again. It just broke it again. I was like, oh shit, and
Oh my
so he
gosh.
went in the second time, and he actually took bone marrow because the bone didn't heal. The bone didn't grow back in between. It was just being held together with that plate, right?
Right.
So it literally broke it in half again. And then he went and took bone marrow out of the back of my wrist right here
Mm-hmm.
and packed it in between the 2 bones in my pinky right here, and
Oh
then put another
wow.
plate on it. And if I had to do it again, I'd just get my pinky cut off.
Oh, don't say that. Oh my
This bone
heavens.
marrow, when he took bone marrow out of the back, like out of this bone in my wrist, dude. That was the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life,
Yeah,
dude. For weeks, dude.
I don't doubt that at all.
For weeks. Like I would have just rather him cut the pinky off altogether.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to get a plate in my hand, and he said he really didn't want to do an open fixation surgery because I'm tiny and I have tiny little hands. He said, I just don't think that's gonna work. So he ended up putting a screw in, but it wouldn't really straighten out the pinky the way that he wanted it to. So he had to
Right.
end up shoving a pin in my knuckle and pushing it up into the pinky bone. I think he called it a boxer fracture.
A compound boxer's fracture. Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Yep.
fifth metacarpal. And he was
Yep. I
like,
got
I don't
the
know what
mine.
you hit. He said, but that must have been a hell of a punch. And I said, well, that's what happens when you punch somebody in the side of their head and they're bobbing and weaving. I was, I
Hug,
said,
you're getting hit back. You're getting all in
yeah.
one punch. I'm giving you everything I got
Well,
in one fucking punch.
they
I'm gonna
have
break
their
your
hand
face.
on my hair, pulling my
Oh
hair. So
damn.
I'm
Oh
just
damn.
I'm haymaking on their ass. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna play that mess. I'm 51 years old. Don't fuck with me.
I'm meleeing and fucking haymaking
And that's
as much
just
as I can, and anybody that's in my way, they're getting fucking nailed at least
that's
once.
exactly right. That's
Hell yeah.
exactly what
Because I'm
happened.
not.
And they were like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. And that was
Yep.
it. And I just looked at my hand and I was like, this my hand's broke. I knew it. And sure enough, I went to the surgeon the next day. And so I just had that surgery on Thursday. So I've got to go take my medicine so I can lay down and elevate my arm. But
Hell
if
yeah.
you want to email me or you can get up with Cash, Cash knows how to reach out to me. He's a member over on my channel. But yeah, I'd love to for you to do an interview with me sometime. That would be great.
Cool. Hell yeah. I look forward to it. I always like to get. I always like to talk with people like you. You know what I mean? Like I'll just save it for the interview. You know what I mean? But like I got reasons. It's great to know that there's
Sure.
somebody else out there fighting for the exact same thing that I'm trying to do myself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
absolutely. I mean, we're better together. You know, we have to use our voices to stand up for these victims because a lot of these victims,
yeah.
they don't have a voice. They've been
No.
silenced.
No. I wish when I was a kid and it was happening to me, I wish somebody would have been there trying to do what I'm doing and what you're doing right now. You know what I mean?
I just feel like every voice matters. I've actually had a couple kids of friends of mine that, a couple of them were subscribers to my channel when I first started, and one of her nieces was being trafficked, and apparently it was by her boyfriend. And I called my friend who had her dad was a state trooper in Georgia. They were headed toward Florida. We were trying to, we had truckers looking out for them, and come to find out, her boyfriend and another guy actually were taking them to Florida. They were only 14, but they were going to get $10,000 a piece for them. They were going to traffic them in Jacksonville. Well, they made it to Jacksonville, but the Jacksonville Police Department was waiting on them, and they were found safe. Praise God.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because we had good people that were working together, and thank God for the truckers that were out there keeping the word out there, and they happened to spot the car that they were in.
Fuck yeah.
Notified Jacksonville Police Department, stopped them. They had the girls duct tape and bound in the back seat.
Wow.
And those girls left of their own free will. They thought they were going to run away with their boyfriends. But the boyfriends wanted to buy drugs, so they were going to sell their girlfriends. That's the crazy world that we live in.
Yeah. Send the fuckers to me. Send the fuckers to me.
Yeah, I will say truckers are a really, really good source of information and getting information out there. But they also,
it depends on the trucker. You got some of those.
Well, that's true.
You got to let me get done talking, because I was saying there are bad ones out there. There are bad ones out there, but most of the time, that's what we used at the truck stop I worked at. I was at a Flying J. We would always find missing people and stuff from trucker information.
Right. Go ahead, James.
Oh, I'm just saying you do get your bad truckers. There's some bad truckers out there.
Well, yeah, there's a bad apple in every bunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in every bunch. Police department,
police, lawyers, dentists, doctors. Pastors, priests.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that really gets me is some of these cases that I cover. I'll be going through and reading things that people will send me, and to see how many people are in a position of power, like attorneys, law enforcement, doctors, nurses, that are out here sexually abusing these kids and other people. It blows my mind. The cover-up, and how long have they been operating in this? And how many victims are there? I mean, it's scary.
The average nice guy could be one of those people, and the average nice dude could be one of those people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He gets active with the neighbors, and they don't know about his what he does on the side.
Yeah, like I put in the introduction in my book. I put in there. I was like, oh fuck, I got stoned. Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, guys, I have to go to bed. I need to go ice my arm. It's my hand is giving me a fit. It's time for me to take my medicine so I can get this swelling down. My cast is feeling too tight.
Nice meeting you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Is there a way you can post your channel in the private chat?
I'll have Cash do it again.
Yeah, Cash will post it.
I only got StreamYard.
You've only got StreamYard? Yeah, let me see
if
I can
post the link in private chat if it's possible. If not,
I'm getting ready to. I am.
Oh, you're going to do it for me? Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll give you.
It's so nice to meet all of y'all, and I hope you'll come over to the channel. I usually do Missing Flyer Mondays, and then if I have other cases, I just schedule those as I have time. Normally, I go live twice a week.
I didn't catch your name. What's your name, bud?
My name is Duchess.
Duchess?
Duchess. Uh-huh.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Duchess.
It's very nice to meet you too.
You're from Kentucky.
Well, I was just gonna
And I hope to
warn
see you
you.
guys covered by the channel. I have a large playlist. You guys are welcome to go through it. There's a lot of cases that I've covered
Oh yeah.
in the last 4 years. So
I'll definitely give
some of
you a
them are
shot.
pretty interesting.
I'll sub up when G2K posts the link in private.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
I got it
so
in
very
private
much. I
already
hope
for you.
y'all have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to chatting again with you soon. Thank you so much for having me as your guest.
You're welcome, absolutely, and you're welcome here anytime. And
Thank you.
I just like to say, just a warning, I'll definitely be around your channel.
Okay, well, that's great. I appreciate that. You guys take care and have a wonderful week.
You
Bye,
too.
y'all.
Bye, Duchess.
I got the link for you in the back, dude.
Yo, is that the right one with the hippie? They got the hippie bus.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, the hippie van. The hippie van.
It could be just their avatar. I'm pretty sure that's it, bro.
All right. I got it.
I'm gonna go check it out myself right now since I can.
Yo, sorry to interrupt there, man. Sorry to interrupt.
You okay? You okay?
St. Patrick's Day.
What's that?
Happy Harley Day. Happy St. Harley Day.
St. Patrick's Day, you mean? Yeah. 9.2K subscribers. Well, guess what? 9.2K fucking plus one right now. Oh yeah.
I just subbed her. It's nice meeting you there, van lady.
Absolutely.
It's Duchess. Van lady.
Duchess of the van. Duchess of the van.
All right. Well, I got to go. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm going live here. I'm going. Hey, stop. Let me explain. Let me explain to you. Ottawa. I'm going live in like 30 seconds on my other channel to have a fun chill stream. So head over there, okay?
Oh,
Bye.
I have your other channel there.
What's the other channel? I didn't know there was another one.
No,
All I
I'm
got
just
is
doing
get
it.
to know underscore stuff.
Oh my lord, hang on. Here, I'll wait for you to tell me what's going on, James.
Fuck you, you bastard. Don't give me shit. I'm definitely selling your
Oh,
coach tonight.
Lord.
Motherfucker, I'm not
it
giving
at
you a
five.
hard time. I'm just letting. I don't have another channel. I'm doing another live stream on my channel, like a chill stream, because I'm trying
Well,
to keep
for
this
that,
serious.
we'll start
Because I'm trying to
G2K's
keep this
couch
stream
at
serious.
$5. We're
Because
gonna
I'm trying to
start
keep
the
this
couch
stream
at
serious.
$5.
Ottawa. I'm trying
Hey,
to keep.
fuck you. We're trying to have a couch.
I'm trying to keep this stream serious, bud.
Yeah, same here. I'm trying to have a serious couch auction on G2K's
Well,
couch.
we can do that on my next
Well,
live
we're
stream,
starting
bud.
the bid at $5. Yes.
Oh my god, dude. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys all in like 30 seconds, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Fuck me.